is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories, and we begin with a developing story. Social media influencers Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan arrived in Fort Lauderdale today. Their travel ban was lifted from Romania. That's where they were facing rape and human trafficking charges. CBS News Miami cameras caught them getting off their private plane at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Andrew Tate told reporters that he and his brother are innocent, but they did not say why they came here to South Florida. During a news conference today, Governor Ron DeSantis says, quote, "Florida is not a place where you are welcome with that type of conduct." CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten is there. He's going to have much more tonight at 5. Lawyers for the Alexander brothers were back in a Miami courthouse for a hearing today. The brothers accused of disturbing crimes against women. The defense teams are trying to get access to the evidence in the federal case against their clients. A trial date in the state case is scheduled for May 12th. And now we are also getting a look at the body camera video of their arrest last December. This video shows the day Orrin Alexander's arrest was made by Miami Beach police. It was on the morning of December 11th. It happened right as FBI agents raided the Alexander brothers' homes, and you can see them escorting him into the police vehicle. And then around 10 minutes later, police moved him into an interrogation room where detectives began questioning him. A similar situation unfolded in the interrogation room with Alon Alexander. This was in a separate room. The video lasts for nearly 2 hours. The Alexander brothers are facing state and federal sex trafficking charges, accused of violently raping and secretly drugging multiple women over years. Deputies across Florida will be allowed to act as ICE agents and crack down on immigration enforcement. The program is called 287G. It is a partnership with ICE that grants state and local law enforcement limited immigration enforcement powers. Governor Ron DeSantis made the announcement in Homestead yesterday with the Miami-Dade County Sheriff. For a complete look at the program, just go to our website at cbsmiami.com.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look at downtown Miami, a beautiful day across South Florida. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now. Hopefully it sticks around.
It sticks around. I think we're going to be in good shape. We do have a little weak front coming in for this evening. It could give us a couple of spotty showers. Already seeing that down at Key West. It's an actual front that will cool us off even more as we head through tonight. Temperatures will be comfortable tomorrow morning. You get a bit of a chill as well. Low 60s coming up. So that is going to happen through the overnight hours, and then we're going to have our next front with a few showers on Saturday. I have to tell you, these cold fronts coming in this time of year tend to be weaker. The temperatures behind the fronts don't tend to be that much colder, and if there's no moisture around, they typically don't produce much in the way of any significant weather. So we're thinking we're looking pretty good here, unless you get something like what happened for the weekend over the Gulf here. Temperatures right now in the upper 70s to around 80. If you look closely, there are a few showers. Have to take you down into the middle keys here. Marathon, you're about to get wet. These are not severe or torrential, but they will continue kind of fanning up to the north and east over the next several hours. But I think the rest of us are looking pretty good with partly cloudy skies, temperatures holding into the mid 70s and then lower 70s, but our humidity's down, and so temperatures are going to be allowed to cool off a little bit more so as we head through tonight. Here's Next Weather rain tracker showing that wind shift as we head through tonight. That's the front that's going to be pushing down to the south. Another thing that happens with the fronts is sometimes they don't get enough of a push, and so they kind of meander around, and that's what will happen with the next one as we get a little bit of rainfall coming up for Saturday. There's your Friday evening, but you see that flow back up, and you see the cloud cover increasing a bit. So between 12 and 3 o'clock, our rain tracker's picking up on a few showers. These will be short-lived. They're not going to be heavy, and by 6, gone. So that's going to be around a window that we're getting some shower activity on Saturday. But if you have outdoor plans, that would be about it. I think you're looking pretty good. Rain chances, in fact, behind this front are going to be pretty low for tomorrow. Pretty much nothing there. 20% coverage on Saturday, and then our rain chances after the weekend don't come until next week, so we're looking pretty good. As far as temperatures, getting a little above average, but the humidity makes it feel comfortable. So 81, low 80s generally from Friday heading into the weekend. There's that second front will dip temperatures a little bit for the early part of next week with the upper 70s. As I mentioned for tonight, temperatures in the lower 60s. Wouldn't be surprised to get a few upper 50s out there. there, so just keep that in mind. Not included are the Keys, where it will be milder overnight, and then all of us equalizing tomorrow with temperatures right around 80 degrees for the afternoon high, and we'll do that with mostly sunny skies, just a few scattered clouds. Next weather 7-day forecast will take us through the upcoming weekend, fast approaching. Again, a little fly there in the ointment. That would be it Saturday, just that shower I showed you popping up through the afternoon. Wind shift bringing us even drier as we head through Sunday, with temperatures cooling off in the low 60s, and then our next rain chance for next week doesn't come until late week, with temperatures by then warming up in the 80s.
Looks like a nice 7 days ahead. Thank you so much, Ivan. And now to the death of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman. The bodies of Hackman and his wife were discovered in their New Mexico home. A search warrant shows that they had been dead for some time. Police are now investigating the circumstances surrounding the deaths. CBS News Miami's Bradley Blackburn has more on what we're learning.
As the investigation continues at the mountaintop home of actor Gene Hackman, authorities have more questions than answers.
It's not normal to find 2 people deceased in a residence. That's concerning. And then there was also a dog that was in a kennel that was also found deceased.
On Wednesday afternoon, the actor's body was found along with the body of his 64-year-old wife, Betsy Arakawa, and their dog. Officials said they may have been dead for some time. There were no signs of a gas or carbon monoxide leak and no obvious signs of foul play. Pills were found scattered near Arakawa.
I think the autopsy is going to be key, and the toxicology.
It was a great fun experience.
Hackman was a Hollywood mainstay for 5 decades, and there's been an outpouring of tributes to the Oscar winner on social media from co-stars and collaborators, including Francis Ford Coppola. The prolific filmmaker directed Hackman in the 1974 thriller The Conversation, calling the actor magnificent in his work and complexity.
Don't sell that cow.
Hackman first made a name for himself in the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde, winning a Best Supporting Actor nomination. His first Academy Award came in 1972 for his portrayal of Jimmy Popeye Doyle, a hard-edged New York City cop in The French Connection. He won a second Oscar 20 years later for his role as a brutal small-town sheriff in the film Unforgiven.
Take the gentleman's cape.
Hackman proved his versatility playing the criminal mastermind Lex Luthor in 3 Superman films, a coach with a checkered past in the classic Hoosiers, and a right-wing senator forced to dress in drag in The Birdcage. In 2000, he downplayed his skills in an interview with CBS's Martha Teichner.
I feel that in some ways that my efforts at being an actor are so all instinctive, and that I hadn't really maybe paid my dues in terms of my contribution.
But many are now honoring Hackman's lifetime of contributions to cinema. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
A deadly measles outbreak expands. The latest when we come back. Welcome back. USAID workers cleared out their workspaces today. That's as the agency that provides humanitarian aid overseas was dismantled. It comes as the Trump administration announces plans for much bigger cuts to the federal workforce. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Supporters clapped as former USAID employees collected their belongings from the agency's now closed Washington headquarters. The moment brought some to tears.
I just wanted them to know that I appreciated the 20 years that we spent together protecting the American people from deadly pandemic diseases and ensuring that people throughout the world understood that America is great because America is good.
Staffers at the U.S. Agency for International Development are clearing out as the Trump administration slashes foreign aid. CBS News has confirmed a nearly 90% cut in foreign aid contracts, totaling nearly $60 billion. While the USAID has been a key target for President Trump's downsizing, the administration is giving all government agencies about 2 weeks to submit plans for reorganization and prepare for what it calls large-scale reduction in force or mass layoffs.
The new memo notes agencies should look at duplication and positions that are non-critical. Elon Musk, the Department of Government Efficiency's top advisor, hasn't put a number on coming layoffs.
We wish to keep everyone who is doing a job that is essential and doing that job well.
But unions say so far the firings have been reckless.
These are critical positions, and they're not just wasteful positions.
Among the thousands of newly hired workers laid off last week, dozens of IRS staffers in Ogden, Utah, home to one of the biggest IRS processing centers.
These are the people who process your tax returns. These are the people who get your refunds out to you.
The 6,700 cuts at the IRS are among the largest agency firings to date, just as tax season ramps up. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The measles outbreak in Texas is growing. An unvaccinated child has died. This marks the first death from the measles in the U.S. since 2015. The largest outbreak to hit Texas in decades has now grown to more than 130 cases. It has also spread to New Mexico. Medical experts are calling the virus very contagious.
In addition to it being very infectious, it has a long incubation period.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So when you get it, if you were to get infected, it would take 10 to 14 days for it to actually to get sick. During that time, you could travel all over the place
and spread it.
Symptoms include a high fever, cough, and watery eyes and body rash. Doctors stress the measles vaccine given in 2 doses is 97% effective against the virus. The Vatican says Pope Francis continues his slow recovery. Today, medical staff and dozens of people gathered in the chapel of a hospital in Rome to attend a mass held for Pope Francis. The 88-year-old pontiff was hospitalized almost 2 weeks ago for double pneumonia. The Vatican says the Pope once again slept well during the night and is doing some work from his hospital bed. That does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a good day.